Hi, this is Vicki from Grammy B's Junk Journal. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today I'm going to share some items that I found during some recent thrifting, and so I'll get right to it. First of all, in this container I have a ton of vintage buttons. I have been looking for these, and I believe this was at a St. Vincent de Paul, and I found a whole box of them. They're Bonnie Heather Pearls buttons, and most of the cards are full. The problem is they put a sticker right in the middle of them. If anybody out there knows a great way to get those stickers off without ruining the cards, please put it in the comments for me. I have a heat gun, but I know that will ruin that card. I have some Goo Gone, but I'm afraid that's going to ruin the card. So if anybody out there knows a good way for me to get these stickers off, let me know. But look at that. I took everything that they had in their box. I've never seen these when I've been out thrifting, so I was really excited to find these, and these will definitely be going into journals. I also found some of these cards. 25 cents, look at that. Yeah, I was just so lucky to find these, and they were at a really great price. Beatrix Potter, I've never seen these before, and I have some of her books, so that will go great in a journal someday. And then these were just kind of little doodads that I thought would go great in some journals. Some buttons and snaps and pins, buckle and belt set. So that's fun stuff. Those will be going into journals. I just have to figure out how to get those stickers off without ruining them. Okay, then I found a bunch of lace, which I use so much lace in all of my projects, and this size is the absolute perfect size that I love. I use it on the edge of the pages, the edge of the covers. I use this size. I like to tie these to as a closure of the journals. So these were a really great find. I think I got this like for 50 cents, and you know, this might have been, what was this? This was $1 for all of this. Can you believe that? Crazy, crazy. So I've got lots of lace to add to my big collection that I already have. And then some of these books, I'm always looking for these kind of books, vintage or antique, and you can either make journals from the book itself, or I really like to use their pages in the signatures of my journal. I also like to cut the images out and create ephemera with them. So these are really great. Most of these I think are recipe books, and I found them for a really good price, 50 cents for some of these. And, you know, a lot of them are 1960s, 1950s, 1960s. And I typically don't buy unless they're that old. Unless it's really something special that, you know, will go along with my journal really good. But these are in really good shape, and they will go great in some signatures. 1964. So these will be fun to use. Yeah, the coloring is great. The images are great. So those will be fun. This is a calorie counter and control guide. I thought this was kind of cool. Do we have a... Yeah, I don't know that the copyright on that, but I could tell just by the pages. It's pretty old. It's probably in the 60s, I'm going to guess. So I got a bunch of these. Really good price on all of these. So when you're out thrifting, keep an eye out on these, and you know, look at the size difference. So this, I mean, this is a perfect size, you know, to put in, you know, journals. Just really great size. It's good to fill your signatures up. They're great to put in glue books. So keep your eye out on those, and you can find them sometimes super cheap. So it's definitely worth a look. I mean, this one right here is 25 cents. So this one was 25 cents. So keep an eye out on those because you can definitely use it. And you can also just cut them up for tags. You know, you can cut these up and use the text for clusters. So, you know, it's okay to cut these books up. They're going into the landfill anyways, and they're going to make your projects just really become beautiful, beautiful projects. So here's another one. And then I'm always on the lookout for these kind of books. Birds of North America. I absolutely love these books. I have several of them. This one is, what is this? So this one is, the renewed copyright is 1983, which is fine. It's not vintage. However, I love to use these pages. I love to make tags. I just love to include them in all of the journals. They're just really, really great books to use. Look at those colors, just beautiful. And they really are wonderful when you are making clusters. It just gives it a pop. You know, you can fussy cut these out, and they're really great books to use. So I know I got this, actually I got this at St. Vincent. It was under $1 for this, which is just craziness. Because if you found this in an antique store, you are definitely going to pay up on it. And it's just like brand new. So keep your eye out on these Birds of North America because there's so much. I mean, the images are just amazing, and they work so good in your ephemera projects. So then I found this one, Minor and Major Alterations and How to Make Them. This is a cool book. Just this itself would make a very cool journal cover, but just the pages, you know, these will go great as pages in my journals. I could fussy cut these out and just embellish pages with them. I could make tags or pockets, the coloration of the pages, just the images themselves. They'll be great, especially in sewing pattern journals. This will go. I always look for these vintage sewing books, sewing magazines, sewing anything that you can add into your sewing pattern journals. And this is 1967. And then I have a whole stack of just different magazines that I picked up for hardly anything. But look at the pages. I mean, these will go so great in journals. The coloration is wonderful. The images, I can fussy cut them. I could make into pockets. There's just so much that you can do with these kind of magazines. And, you know, I probably paid $1/4 for that. I don't know. It very, very inexpensive, but St. Vincent de Paul is I don't know if you have any around you, but that is like a really wonderful place to thrift because you can sometimes get this kind of stuff for like, you know, under 50 cents. So this one, I'm not for sure on the date. I don't know. I haven't really looked at this great, but I did flip through it. I loved these images. I'm thinking it's 60s is what I'm thinking. But, oh, no, actually this one is a new book. It just looks vintage. I see a copyright 1997, so this is definitely not a vintage book. But some of the images surely do look like it. So I will be using some of those images for sure. I do have another one of these. I don't know what to do with them yet, but I just love them. Here is a cookbook, and I don't know why I got this. Besides, I loved the cover. This one is a 76. I do love the front cover, but all of these kind of pages, even though it's just text on a lot of it, they work really great in glue books. So I always collect those. There was a whole stack of these quilling books, and these were 1960s. And I love to collect different art books and put those pages into the signatures in my journal. Just because it's just fun. It's just fun. And so I got these, you know, I don't know, probably 25 cents or something like that. So, but they're all 1960s, and I just thought it was really fun to look at. The pictures were great, and they will be great additions to my glue books and my journals. And by the way, if you haven't visited my website, grammybshop.com, right now, everything Christmas is on sale. I always have free shipping. The price that you see is what you get, or what you pay. And so if you haven't visited, please do. I've got lots of vintage items, lots of journals, lots of ephemera type things on there. So check it out. And this is the end of my haul. So thank you for coming along with me. I hope that you are out there thrifting, and this gives you an idea of some things that you should kind of, should be on your radar to look for. And I will see you back here next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.